today will be short, fast, but you just have to listen. So let's help you see how a company stopped the GenZ turnover by 40%. Say backstory. Clearly, this helps your organization if you want to understand the newest generation in the workplace. So, quick start. Replacing just one GenZ employee will cost you a huge ton of money, depending what your budget for the year is. In recruitment, onboarding, and lost production. Now imagine you losing 5 of them who bring in your numbers, but maybe because you don't like their mannerism and how they act, you decide to sack 5. Look at what the result comes down to in your bottom line. Now imagine 5 of them walking out in a single quarter because both of you didn't come to a good conclusion. That's exactly what a company we're sharing with you today was facing. So let's give you a background story. Bright Gen Z graduates coming in within 9 months, almost 50% are leaving. They are smart, they understand how to get the work. Getting the work had never been their problem. They either quit or mentally check out. Exit interview says the same thing from most of them. Let me just draw one line from one of the exit interview. I don't feel heard. Okay, there's no growth here. Normal line, right? Okay, I want to have my voice. Leadership is out of touch. Okay, HR thought it was just normal pay, but actually, clearly, this feedback was written on the wall. Culture, it was a culture fit. So what did we figure out was a better alternative? As simple as it looks, reverse mentorship program. Paired younger staff, senior leadership, giving Gen Z a voice at the top. Simple. What's reverse mentorship? It's the most exciting kind of pairing you could do. Pairing an older gen with a younger gen. It might not be millennials, it might be Gen X, but the idea for the pairing is that there's always a result to this pairing. It's not just an ordinary pair, it's a pairing that brings in an ROI for the two parties. Value-based cultures reset. Irrespective of whether they were doing hybrid, they had times they met weekly, and quarterly there were reviews, which always blows everyone's mind. So the idea was the simplest one that made much of the difference was one of this. Then I'll share with you two, then the rest you would have to sign up. Okay, but come with us. We co-created a value charter where employees defined what clearly things like respect means to both parties, what flexibility means, and what growth look like in practice, not just on poster. You see, now this was the shocker. The different generations had the definition of what respect meant, what flexibility meant, and what growth looked like. But when we created the charter, the idea for creating a charter was that the charter had to be co-created. And when it was co-created, it was clear what everyone was seeing. Feedback loops, monthly pulse check, sessions where staff could raise issues anonymously, and leadership responded with the visible changes. Now, the result, the timeline is over 6 months. No, not 2, 6. 6 makes it clear for us to see ROI. Within 6 months, the turnover became clearly. The number of those who wanted to leave dropped by 30%, which was like year 1. If we did this continuously to year 3, we would come back to this feedback, but it was important you understood what some things as simple as re-engineering could do to your team. But here's the kicker. Engagement scores for senior staff went up. Why? Because they were the ones that were almost tired of this generation, but they got clearly understanding who they really are. Because leaders felt reconnected to the next generation, which is the best thing most leaders crave for. Why? Most times we always forget that most leaders look for the next generation because they look for their younger version of self and they want to give back. So seeing this reconnection was all the difference it made. Productivity rules, hiring costs dropped. So here's a lesson for you that don't know the complaint about Gen Z or your next generation in your workplace. Gen Z don't just want a job. They want to sit at a table and a culture that reflects their values. If your organization is struggling with retention, let's talk. Okay, I'm running an internal session right now for the next couple of weeks. 7 trends of Gen Z at work. We can build this kind of culture shift for your team. It's a culture shift, it's re-engineering, it's the simplest thing. Remember the story of the man who tries to help fix a ship in the middle of nowhere and gives them a bill. And they asked him why he charged them. And when he itemized everything, it got clear that they were mainly paying for knowledge. No, not even the tool. So you see, don't think you could do this yourself. Have fun seeing how much power you have in your team. And let's work with you. My name is Charles Sumi. This was meant to be 60 seconds. Cheers, an amazing day. Yes, this was for Gen Z's. Engineering the right place. I'm rooting for you. I can't wait to do this for your team.